but like the most high for you, brothers, staying around and shit.
Damn right.
Man.
Where we going?
Huh?
Where the fuck am I going?
Maybe that's where you going.
All right, Shalom, Israel. We can start in 1 second.
You type of nigga that yeah, tell you all this bad shit about you and say I love you again.
Oh man, that's funny as hell. All right, we're gonna get started. Shalom, Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahshai Burger Thumb. Yahweh Shemar Thumb by Shem Yahshai. I'm Priest Officer Parag, holding down the Wednesday law class for the ISUPK out of Arizona. All right, if you look at the very bottom of the screen, you'll see our class schedule and our class location. All right, that's every Tuesday through Friday from 7 to 9 p.m. and every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. All right. Today we're gonna talk about something that is extremely important amongst Blacks and Hispanics. All right. The title of today's class is "You Talk Too Much." That's what this class is called. All right. We're gonna pretty much, if you could hold for me, somebody go hold for me Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 19. All right, because here's one problem that Blacks and Hispanics do too much of. Or excuse me, one thing that Blacks and Hispanics do too much of is run their damn mouth. We don't have control over anything. We don't have control over our actions, over our lusts, over anything. We damn sure don't have control over our mouth and what comes out of it, right? So we have to really gain control of it. And this class is designed, if you have ears to hear, to help you to contain what comes out of your mouth, right? Some people just shouldn't say anything at all, straight like that. Some people just shut the hell up and never talk about anything ever, right? But then there are those people that should have a voice and should say things. But this class is going to show you the season, the time in the season for you to say things, right? And it's, of course, it'll be everything will be coming out of the Bible. We're going to be in the book of Ecclesiasticus mostly in this class because Ecclesiasticus is probably my favorite book in the entire Bible. This book tells you how to live. I thought Proverbs is my favorite book, but listen, this Ecclesiasticus is, I've been reading it, and this, man, listen, I'll tell you, in every life, I'm starting the class off like this because I would urge everybody to read the book of Ecclesiasticus because every life issue that you think you can run into is in here. It's straight up it's in the Apocrypha in the book of Ecclesiasticus. Now, like I said, we're gonna be focusing more on watching your tongue and watching what you say. But please, for the love of the Most High, read this book if you don't read any other book in the Bible. All right, but we're going to start in Ecclesiasticus chapter 19 and verse 6.
6?
Yeah.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 19, verse 6. He that can rule his tongue shall live without strife.
So if you can rule your tongue, what does that mean? To have rule over your tongue, meaning have control over your tongue. If you can have control over your tongue, which is your mouth, which is the things that you say, you'll live without strife.
Right.
What's strife? Strife is struggle. Strife is, strife is a fight. That's what strife is, right? You will live without fight and without struggle if only you could rule your tongue. Keep going.
Right. And he that hated babbling shall have less evil.
What is babbling? Right, a common term that you'll hear today is like rambling, just talking, just talking, just to hear yourself talk. If you Black or Hispanic, you heard that coming up. You heard that coming up. Your parents would tell you just talking to hear yourself talk because you talk too goddamn much. Why? Because you were a child at that time. But it's grown ass men out here talking just to hear themselves talk.
Daddy said when I was young.
Yeah.
Like, stop. You sound like your sisters, man. Shut
Yeah.
the fuck up.
Like it's time to be quiet.
I remember that shit when
Right.
I was little ones. Ever since then.
Right.
Shut the fuck up.
Good.
Or in school, they'll call you a chatterbox, something like that.
Motor
Them white teachers, yeah, they'll call you a chatterbox, a motor mouth, all of that. Them white teachers, they be getting you with that, don't they? They be getting you with that, but that's the thing. But that's what you are, though. You a motor mouth. When you cut that car on, that motor is running. And they don't stop until it want to. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's what you do when you open up your mouth. You just talk and talk and talk. And the scriptures say if you hate that, if you hate a rambler, if you hate a motor mouth, you'll have less evil because you won't talk so goddamn much. You'll shut up a little bit more than everybody else. So you'll have less evil than everybody else. But keep reading, verse 7.
Right, verse 7.
Now, this is important, extremely important. This is something specific. Now we're gonna get into to telling other people's secrets. You know what I'm saying? A pillow talking or whatever you want to call it, right? Being a talebearer, whatever you want to call it. This is a big problem amongst Israel.
Right.
Go ahead.
Rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee, and thou shalt fare never the worse.
So now that's why I was saying that if you don't read any other book in this Bible, now this is we don't read 2 scriptures in this class. I mean 2 verses in this class. But that's why I was saying if you don't read anything else, you should read this because this like if we could, I know in the kingdom for sure, right? And in my household, I do it, and everybody in the school's household, I'm sure brothers do it too. We teach our kids these scriptures, these types of scriptures to teach children, right? The scriptures say in the book of Proverbs, train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he's older, he'll not depart from it, right? This should be like curriculum in like 1st or 2nd grade. Like in 1st and 2nd grade, this should be part of class, of school, right? Because so many people grow up with the mindset that when somebody tells you something, you got to go and tell every goddamn body what you heard. The scripture just said, rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee. A nigga come and confide in you and tell you, something that, he's confiding in you about it. I wouldn't necessarily call it a secret, but you know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be between you and him.
Right.
And then you go home and tell your woman. That's called pillow talking, brother. That's called. You go home and tell your woman about everything that this brother just told you. You got it because you got to tell somebody. It's gonna. We're gonna read later, right? It's gonna burst you if you don't tell somebody.
As if it's not gonna come out.
Right, as if it's not gonna come out.
Brothers that it always come out. Nonetheless, they still, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And every now and then, nigga might, if it's a wise man, just to see if he might just tell you something.
See if you're gonna go run tell it.
Like niggas, you know what I'm saying? Or you might just whisper some shit, knowing that, you know what I'm saying? That
right. Right. And we're actually about to read that because it always comes out, like you just said, right? And that's what we got to remember. Don't. I'm gonna keep it just like what the scripture said. Rehearse not unto another that which is told unto thee. If somebody comes and tells you something in confidence, don't go run and tell your other homeboy or one of your girlfriends or one of your wives. Don't do that. Just if a brother told you something, keep it with you until death. And we're about to read that same thing that I just said, right? Verse 8.
Verse 8. Whether it be to friend or foe, talk not of other men's lives.
Listen, man, whether it's your friend or your enemy, don't speak on another man's life. You get what I'm saying? Don't speak on another man's life. Once again, what we know about a brother, because the brother done told us, don't go home and tell your wife everything that you just heard. You know what I'm saying? Just because you feel like you got to get it out. And that's what's so like you should, if you want to be a wise brother, sisters too, y'all bad with this too. If you want to be wise, don't go telling everybody your business, man. Right. You get what I'm saying? Because you got that same problem. You feel like you're going to burst open if you don't tell what's on your mind. Like Facebook then got y'all jammed up because Facebook want to know what's on your mind. Facebook, when you sign in on Facebook, at the very top, it say what's on your mind. And then they give you that open, that open invitation to, click right there and just say what's on your mind.
Actually, I think some sister was telling me about this, where you could create a fake profile where it's like kind of like your diary, whatever you feel like saying.
And you put it in front of you. I know exactly what you're talking about.
I forget what it's a special name to it, but I forget what it's
You talking about Reddit?
They
got something like that on Reddit too. Where you'll go in on there and it won't be you, right? It won't be your name, it'll just be some username you make up and you'll do like a confession, like confessions about some things that they got that on Reddit. They got it on a couple of spots. We just got to go and tell everybody because the thing about us is like as humans, saying I'm not trying to get all because I study psychology and behavioral health. Like the thing about us as humans is when we have something that we know is what's a good word? We know it's not right. Something about us, that we're doing, it's not right. It's not the right way. It's not moral. We feel like we have to confess it to somebody, right? And so now we take that same understanding because you know that's what your brain wants. Your brain wants to tell it to somebody to remove the guilt from you. So you'll just tell everybody about some terrible thing that you've done, but you don't want the secret to get out. You don't want it to get out, but you know this nigga finna run and tell every goddamn body.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it ain't even got to be so. Now, like I said, we hold that same mindset with everything now. So now it ain't even got to be something evil. It ain't got to be, I committed adultery or something like that. It ain't got to be something crazy like that. It can just be, you talking about a situation that happened with you, at the store. You got into some fight or roughed the nigga up or something because he, whatever the case, right? And now you tell a brother this, and he go home and tell his woman about it because he just got to get it out. You know what I'm saying? That's what this scripture is talking. This scripture is talking about a nigga like that. You can't be like that, man. You have to stop doing that, right? And so, of course, that's why it says, whether it be to friend or foe, talk not of other men's lives. Right? That's another man's life. Let him live his life. If he talk to you in confidence about something, he talk to you about it. He didn't talk to you and your wife and your auntie and your uncle. You get what I'm saying? But let's keep going.
Right. And if thou canst without offense, reveal them not.
Right. So, and if thou can, if thou canst, right, without offense, reveal them not. Right. Don't go into this is repetitive now. Don't go and talk about everything that you hear from another brother. Keep going.
Right. For he heard and observed. For he heard and observed thee. And when time cometh, he will hate thee.
Listen, he heard and observed thee, and when time cometh, he will hate thee. Just like Officer Abayak brought out. It's going to come out. You just told this nigga's whole business to the whole block. It's going to come out that you told everybody about, whatever the hell he told you. I don't want to say any examples, right? But you told everybody about what he just told you. Now, he going to find out, and he's going to hate you. That's what the scripture just said, right? And when the time cometh, he will hate thee. Verse 10.
If thou hast heard a word, let it die with thee.
Let it do what?
Die with thee.
Listen, man, if you hear a word, take that thing to the grave. I know you feel like it's a Benjamite right there.
That's heavy.
You know what I'm saying? But if you hear a word, let it die with you, man. Take it to the grave with you. Like so many people feel like they have to let it out. They gotta let it out. It's like they're full of food and they gotta vomit. That's how they feel. That's how they treat your secrets that you were supposed to die with. Right? That's what the scriptures say. If you heard a word, let it die with you. Go ahead.
And behold.
And be bold. Go ahead.
And be bold. Mm-hmm. It will not burst.
It will not burst thee, man. It's not gonna kill you to hold that damn secret in.
Right.
It's not gonna, like I said, it's like you treat. Yeah.
See him blind, you and deaf.
Yeah. Right. You saying like, listen, man, it's not gonna kill you to hold that secret in, man. You get what I'm saying? Now, just to make sure that everybody really fully understands, right? This isn't talking. If a nigga come to you and tell you that he molested a little girl, tell somebody. You get what I'm saying? That's for sure. In the ISUPK, that's when we will tell somebody your secret. If your secret is that you raped some sister in the school, it probably won't get past that. So like it. Nigga might rough you up right there and leave you where you stand. So like it. But in righteousness, we definitely going, you know what I'm saying? We're going to put you in your place. The police going to be called. It's going to be like that. We're going to tell all your secrets then. But you know what I'm saying? If a brother come to you in confidence and tell you about something, how you been feeling, for instance, I'll give you this example, right? If a brother come to you and tell you, man, Salaki, I've been feeling suicidal and I've been feeling kind of weak in the truth. I just, these things have been happening. I lost my job. I just been feeling kind of weak. And you get a brother counsel or whatever and tell the brother, hey, listen, keep your head up. Give him some scriptures. Tell him, listen, you got to keep fighting. Give him Ecclesiasticus, the 2nd chapter. Tell him what he got to do. And then go home and tell your woman, yeah, that nigga weak as hell. He talking about he trying to kill himself because like you a bitch or something like that. You get what I'm saying? Or go and tell another brother. Yeah, man, that nigga over there, watch that nigga because he a bitch. He's going through it. Man, listen, that's what this is. Don't be that type of nigga, man. Don't be that type of nigga. Get that brother counsel, and whatever he's going through, let that be what he told you in confidence, and let that be between you and him alone. That's it. You get what I'm saying? And let that shit die with you, man. Go to the death with that thing, man. Don't go, before you die. It's gonna burst you if you don't tell him. It's gonna burst you if you don't tell some brother in the school or some sister or some, your rib. Man, that nigga right there, he weak as hell. He told me one time he was gonna kill himself because he lost his job. You know what I'm saying, man? Don't be that type of nigga, man. Just help the brother out and leave it there. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Keep going though. It gets even better, right? Verse 11.
A fool travaileth, though a fool travaileth with a word, as a woman in labor of a child.
So we just heard it would not burst thee, right? You know, burst mean to pop. You know, you just gonna explode, right? But a fool travaileth with a word, same way a woman with child. You know, travailing is like it's suffering. It's suffering with, you know, a woman suffering in birth. She getting ready to push this baby out. So she's suffering. All she can do is think about, I cannot wait till I get this baby out. Y'all, I don't know if y'all ever been in the delivery room when y'all woman give birth to a baby. Goddamn. She wanted that thing out of there. She wanted out of there as quick as possible, right? And that's how you are with the goddamn with the word, right? With the secret. You know what I'm saying? Or with something to say, something you gotta talk about, right? You can't wait to push that thing out, to speak, right? Keep going.
Right. Verse 12. As an arrow that sticketh in a man's thigh, so is a word within a fool's belly.
So what happens when an arrow sticks in your thigh? You're gonna yell out and you're gonna scream. That's what you're gonna do. You get shot with an arrow in your leg, you're gonna howl, man. You're gonna scream. Good.
I don't know if you guys ever seen Ace Ventura.
No, I ain't seen it. I heard about it though.
There's this part where it's like, you know, you get shot with an arrow on one side, start screaming. You get shot on the other leg, start screaming. You start screaming on both, you know, for both legs, you know. I don't know. It just reminded me of that same situation. I don't know if anybody ever seen it.
Yeah, somebody online might have. I haven't. You know, so like, but no, but that's, you know what I'm saying. But that's what this is. You know what I'm saying. When somebody should not think about it like this, right? This is the analogy. The secret of the what somebody confided in you with, right?
Right.
Is that arrow. They go and you are the leg. Man, listen, when they hit you with that thing, you gotta scream, and you gotta go and holler and tell everybody what you just heard. I can't count, man, coming up, seeing so many niggas go home and tell their, you know, tell their girlfriend or tell, you know, somebody that they kick it with or whatever. Something that a brother came and told them, you know, like, it was between me and you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Right. It's like you tell your brother, your flesh brother that you grow up with, you know you're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
You go over there and tell your mom. Come on over here, you know, go spread the whole news to everyone.
Oh man, don't get me started on that.
You can't even believe what such and such did. Talking to your cousin, I know family members that are like that. You can't say nothing about nothing around an aunt or a cousin because
they gonna tell everybody.
Gonna shame you for
That's what's about to happen tomorrow. You know, a lot of niggas Thanksgiving's gonna get ruined because they auntie, you know, finna tell everybody about, you know, the white girl that they've been sleeping with. You know, that auntie gonna find out about that white girl you've been having sex with, and she gonna tell everybody at the dinner table about that white girl, and they gonna look at you like, damn, you got him a snow buddy. You know what I'm saying? They gonna talk about you, and that's what this is talking about, man. They gonna talk about you day in and day out because they feel like there's no other way. They must do it. You know what I'm saying? They have to do it. There's it like the scriptures say. The scriptures say it will not burst it. It's not gonna kill you to keep a secret in.
Right.
But to them, they're like a woman that's travailing in labor. She want to push that baby out, man. Just like you want to push somebody's secret out, right? I was gonna say something. Go ahead.
More time than not, this I know niggas like that out is just wicked. More time than not out, their own secret, they're not even willing to tell out.
Yeah, they're not gonna tell you because they know how they are. Yeah.
But they'll tell your secret.
Right. They know how they are.
Like, they're not saying their own. They're not telling about. They're not telling their own secret.
Because they know it's other bitches out there just like them. You know what I'm saying? For the niggas that do it, they know it's other niggas out there just like that. You could be just like him. So he not gonna do it. He not gonna tell you his secret. That's why I say you should learn to be in that sense. You should learn to be like them niggas because they're not gonna tell you nothing. They're not gonna tell you nothing about their life. You're gonna be looking at them. And so many people say this in the world, like, oh man, he's so secret. I don't know what he's doing. But that's the same nigga you tell all your secrets to. And now that you wonder how them rumors have been spread about you all throughout your city. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, man. Let's get Ecclesiasticus, the 27th chapter. So same book, different chapter. Let's get 27. And then we're gonna start at verse 16.
Verse 16, you said?
Yeah.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 27, verse 16. whoso discovered secrets loseth his
credit.
His credit.
Right. So whoso discovereth secrets loseth his credit. Now, what is this talking about? When it says discovereth, it's not. So this is the old English, right? This is the old King's English. So this is not talking about finding somebody's secret. When it says whoso discovereth somebody's secret, it's talking about exposing them, right? Just like if you discover somebody's skirt, right? Same thing is what you'll find throughout the Bible, right? If you expose somebody's secret, you lose your credit. What's your credit? Like, I hate this. I hate this this saying, but it's real. All the man got is his balls and his word. So your word means everything. So if somebody comes to you in confidence and says, you know, and tries to talk to you about something, maybe they want counsel from you, maybe they need some help from you, whatever the case, right? They're coming to you and you alone. So if you decide after that, you know, after that conversation, after that interaction, that you're going to tell your wife, you're going to tell, you know, your boy or whatever the case, you've now lost credit, right? Your credibility is gone because now that person is going to know once it gets back to him, which it always will. Once it gets back to him that you spread his secret or spread whatever he was talking about, he's never going to trust you again. And so you'll never have any credibility with him again, nor will you have credibility with the people that you tell it. Because the same people that you telling, they're going to be like, I can't tell this nigga nothing. Because somebody told him something in confidence, and now he coming and telling me, telling this other person. So your credit is going to be current.
Right. You telling me this.
Right. And so point being is, you're going to lose your credibility. Now, nobody's going to confide in you. Nobody's going to come looking to you for counsel. Who's going to want to get counsel from you? And, you give them whatever, piss ass counsel that you give them. And then go and tell everybody on the earth, yeah, that nigga Parak said that he was sad. You know what I'm saying? That nigga Parak said he was feeling this way or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like talking down on you. That's what this is talking about, man. You're going to lose your credibility if you act like that. Why? Because you talk too much. You talk too damn much. It's going to burst you. You feel like it's going to kill you if you cannot tell somebody else's business. You learn that from your mother. That's what you learned it from. You learned it from your mother and your aunties and your grandmother who raised you. You wasn't raised by men. I understand. And most of us wasn't raised by men. Raised by our mothers. I understand. Listen, you're going to have to put that away because that's going to get you killed. And we're going to find out when we get later that we got a lot of time left in this class. And I'm going to show you later on in this class that all that talking is going to get you killed. It's going to get you killed out. You might want to be careful. Let's keep reading.
And shall never find friend to his mind.
Right. He's never going to find a friend. You're going to be on the blacklist. Nobody going to want to deal with you because you constantly telling people secrets, constantly talking about somebody. It ain't got to be about secrets. If you're just talking about somebody, gossiping behind somebody's back, you know what I'm saying? Oh, this nigga does this. I don't like that. All of that, man, that's garbage, man. If you ain't come up and tell that brother himself, then you a punk for that, man. You know what I'm saying? If you can't go and tell that brother the way that you feel about him, but you'll go and tell somebody else the way that you feel about him, you a punk for that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You a whole hoe for that. Why? Because that's the spirit of cowardice. And you're never gonna find a friend like that, man. Nobody's gonna want to be your friend unless it's another wicked person. But that's why it says you'll never find a friend to his mind. Right? You gonna say something? Okay. Verse 17.
Verse 17. Love thy friend and be faithful unto him.
Right. Being faithful unto him. That's talking about loyalty, man. Be loyal unto your brothers, man. That's what you gotta do. So many brothers don't want to do that, though. You don't want to be loyal. And whatever comes, whatever happens, right, is going to sway, your friendship with that person or your brotherhood with that person. It's you. What you have is you are under you are friendship under the condition. You're in a friendship under the condition that he doesn't hurt your feelings, or under the condition that he does something that you don't like. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you'll start going off and talking about him. You can't allow that, man. You have to be faithful. You got to be loyal. Keep going.
Right. But if thou bewrayest his secret, follow no more after him.
Let's say bewrayest or betrayest. I got it written down, so like it.
It's a BEWR.
Okay, that's what it is.
Betrayest.
Yeah, it's different on the app, right? Read that again, so like it.
But if thou betrayest his secret, follow no more after him.
So now with the word, so it is if you read in the Old English, it's bewray, BEWRAY. It means to reveal or to expose, right? So now, if you berate his secrets, meaning if you expose his secrets, something that was just supposed to be between you and him,
Right.
follow no more after him, and don't deal with him no more. And it's going to tell you why. Keep going.
Verse 18. For as a man had destroyed his enemy, so hast thou lost the love of thy neighbor.
If you start telling people this brother's secrets, this is supposed to be your friend, supposed to be your brother, and you start going off and talking about him, listen, man, don't follow after him anymore, because now you've become his enemy. And that's a dangerous thing. I've seen it so many times. I know a lot of brothers have seen it so many times where you go off and you start talking bad about this brother behind his back. And this is what's crazy about it. Don't even be like after something terrible has happened and y'all not friends no more. Y'all still supposed to be cool. But he might have did something you don't like or whatever the case, and you start talking behind his back. Don't follow after him no more. That's what the Bible says. Don't follow after him. Don't try to pretend and play to be his friend no more, because you've now made an enemy. You gonna say something?
So like, never mind. It's a different topic, but it's kind of like the same thing.
You can get it if you want.
It'll be like for instance, like when you and your rib have a fight,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, she'll be bringing out some stories of what you used to do back in the world,
Mm-hmm.
And now she over here telling everybody on Facebook or friends or family or whoever,
Right.
because of the anger or the conflict that you both have between each other,
Right.
letting out all these, stories that shouldn't be have been.
Right.
So it's like,
that's for real. Because what's going to happen is you are going to make an enemy out of your husband. And so the thing is, in the school, we're going to, of course, a husband is going to perform a husband's duty no matter what. But if you make an enemy out of your husband, there's going to be a council being had, and there's going to be somebody that's going to be at fault. And if you a bitch that's going and telling everybody about your husband and what you don't like about him and this, that, and the third, you're going to be the one that's found at fault. And that'll be up to the judgment of the Lord, man. That'll be up to the judgment of the Lord. I would hate to be on that side of the spectrum, man. I would hate to be there. You know what I'm saying? I would rather just follow the law, statutes, and commandments. Scriptures say don't go up and down, don't go up and down in the streets as a talebearer. That's what the scriptures say. You know what I'm saying? You just going to say something?
No, I said I'm tired of sitting down.
Okay, no sweat. Yeah. Right. So, but you'll make an enemy out of your husband. If you a brother to do that, you weak as hell. You going to tell everybody about the fights that you having with your wife. It's a lot. You going to talk, man. Listen, if you're going to do that, man, you a punk, man. Because here's the difference between. Here's the difference.
She scratched me up. Look at this shit.
Oh my God, I couldn't imagine that. It's a lot. I could not imagine that. It's a lot.
But I'm saying, even like someone like me out being true, I don't even take that from my woman.
Right.
It's just a nigga.
Right.
I'm saying, but women, that's something that women tend to do. Women get mad at what they do. They get mad at you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They'll tell their mama, they'll tell their auntie, they'll say
Right.
their cousin, their sister. And now they looking at you kind of funny, like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you can't believe you did this to her. Oh, came out, oh, he had a whole time he has another wife, he in a cold, you know what I'm saying? Type shit. You know what I'm saying? No,
Now you in the coat because you done pissed them
so
off.
what I do, I was like, so what I do is, which I recommend every man do is, when your woman do that, sit down and talk to her, man.
Yeah.
Tell her, look, you see, now you're still with me. We're still together now. You see this shit? See how we still together? It'd be different if we weren't together when we saying all this shit. But now we together, so now I gotta look at you a certain way now.
Right.
You force me to look at you a certain way. Whereas, and you force your parents to look at you a certain way. If you stick
Right.
with me, now you look stupid.
Right.
Whereas, like, if you to hold your peace, hold your fucking tongue. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
None of this shit would come out. You would feel so stupid. You
Talk
feel
too
stupid.
much.
I do feel stupid.
Right.
Like, if you'd have kept your mouth shut, this wouldn't happen, huh?
Right.
You're right. You
Mhm.
said,
I
you
know
said,
brothers over here, making it difficult for both of you now. Not just the man.
I be
Both of
expecting
you.
it. I be counseling like children. I'm talking to them like children.
Right.
Cause I expect that from you. You know what I'm saying? When they get mad and shit.
No, damn right. And that's exactly what happens. And shit. So you really got to be careful. Like, you really got to be careful. Now, being a husband that's I don't want to say it's a whole different ball game, but it's a slightly different ball game. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're training. You know what I'm saying? You're training this woman to not. You're training what's being taught in this class. You got to teach her. And a lot of times, what ends up happening is, and I say a lot of times, but not always, you know, what ends up happening is they got to learn the hard way. Because like you just said, if a broad go and tell her, you know, tell her whole family because she's upset at you that, oh man, he ain't nothing, he ain't shit. You know how many women have went and told their mama and their auntie and their girlfriend and their sister that, you know, her man ain't shit, and then the next day they back with the man? How stupid do you think that make you look? That's why you should shut up. That's why you should stop talking so goddamn much. It should make you know. It should make you think like, hey, listen, maybe I talk too much. I talk before I think because I know goddamn well if I was thinking, I would know I'm gonna be right back with this nigga tonight. That's what, you know what I'm saying.
Like I said, they gotta feel super.
Yeah. I don't think that, man. I'm telling you.
Imagine the conversation they have with their parents and their mom talking, he in the cold, and he don't do this, he'll make me do this, and he do this to me, he be treating me like this, and he looking for a while, you know, all this shit. You gonna do all that shit now? Like you still with him now?
Yeah.
Now you mean to tell me like?
Now he not the stupid one. He's smart, but you the stupid one though.
All of them,
right? Because that's what she was trying to do is make you look stupid.
Like,
but now,
different if she won't with you no more.
Right. Right. That's different. Right.
Truth, you know, I should have put you outside looking this, outside this word, like yo, I get sharp. The fact that she stayed with you after all that shit, now what? You can tell them all the secrets now. Now what?
Right. Now they ain't gonna follow what you say no more. You know, like, you know, we read before, right? They gonna stop following what you say. They gonna stop, you know, reacting to what you tell them because of what you do.
Right.
You go back to the same, you know, situation that you love being into.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, that's an excellent point too. You love being in that same situation. Like that's so many people, right? So many people. I don't want to get too far off into the subject, but so many people do that thing that we're talking about right now, where you in a situation and something small, you know, what we talking about? A woman being mad because of some stupid, right? And so she gonna go run off and do all of that, and then come right back. Why? Because she hates the situation she's in? No, she's coming back because she loves you. She loves that rod. She loves everything about that comes with this package. Even if you got 20 other ribs, she loves you. You know what I'm saying? She's gonna come right back to you. She talked too goddamn much. She should shut the hell up and never say anything about you to her parents, to her sister, to no goddamn body. Salakia. But let's get back into it. That's still on the topic though. Salakia. Y'all gotta learn, right? Let's read 20.
Verse 20. Follow after him no more, for he is too far off. He is a roe escaped out of the snare.
That's a goddamn. If you only understand how hardcore that scripture is, it says, "Follow after him no more, for he is too far off." What's that talking about? Well, let's get the analogy. He is as a roe. What's a roe? It's a. Let me get the definition right. Let me see. Make sure I got it right. Let me see. I just want to make sure I got it right. So lock you. Yeah, it's a deer. Okay. I just want to make sure I had it right? So read that again.
Follow after him no more, for he is too far off.
He's too far off. Go ahead.
He is as a roe escaped out of the snare.
He is as a roe escaped out of the snare. Listen, that man he's got a chip on his shoulder because of you. Because what's a snare? A snare is a trap, right? And that roe is that deer. And so people, just if anybody understand hunting, right? You set out a trap. A trap, maybe it could be something that snatches up his legs or whatever the case is, right? But when that roe runs across that trap, it's going to snatch that deer up so you can do what? So you can devour it, so you can eat it. So you can kill it and eat it. Right. But that roe got out of that trap and he ran off. And now he's going to be looking out for them traps now. He's going to be looking and he's going to be thinking, it's somebody out here trying to get me.
Right.
It's somebody out here trying to snatch me up and kill me. He's too far off. You should never go back to that person that you betrayed. Straight like that. You betrayed that brother when you spoke on him. You betrayed that sister when you spoke on her.
Right.
Don't ever try to go back to her because she's going to remember. And now, of course, we talking about, in the world and the truth, we're going to forgive our brothers. We're going to forgive our sisters, right?
Take a nigga out in the world out. She's following those same ABC rules out. That'll keep him alive.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. That's why I said this should be taught like first, second grade. Like you should just go through the whole entire book of Ecclesiasticus and read all of it.
All that should be taught. This math and that should be taught.
That's it. That's it. Not straight up. No, you're not lying. You know what I'm saying? You're not lying. But that's the point. You know what I'm saying? Like this right here it would save so many lives. Like, listen, man, you have to realize once you've stepped on a nigga toes like that, he, like the scriptures say, he's too far off now. He knows the type of person you are. Right. And okay, street wise, right? If he does open his arms back to you after you've done something like that to him, he's going to think about how to snake you first because he knows that you have snaked him. So you should just, you know what I mean? Call it the laws. Call it the laws, and that's it. It's enough, right? But if you want to really think about the moral of the story, don't talk about niggas, and this will never happen. You'll never make a brother feel like he has to be on defense when you're around him. Imagine that. Like, imagine being, to most of us, we ain't got to imagine it. We could just remember or recall it because it's happened before. But imagine being around a nigga that was like your close brother, man, and he was close with you, and you know what I'm saying, y'all loved each other and got down with each other, you know what I'm saying, in the street, whether it was in the streets or shit, in the truth. Some brothers lead the truth. You know what I'm saying? Y'all done ate together, you know what I'm saying, and all of that, right? Broke bread together and all of that. And this cat decided to snake you, to betray you, to go behind your back and do something, to talk evil about you. It don't matter, you know, it don't matter what the situation or the scenario is. You see that brother again, you're on defense mode. Right. You on defense mode constantly because you know that it was in his heart at one time to snake your ass. So you're never gonna look at him the same. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? So, but that's what this is talking about. You should just stay away. Just stay away from him because trust me, they're never gonna look at you the same. Right? But let's keep going, right? Verse 21.
Verse 21. As for a wound, it may be bound up, and after reviling, there may be reconcilement.
Mm-hmm.
But he that bewrayeth secrets is without hope.
And this is a beautiful scripture because as for a wound, it may be bound up, and after reviling, there may be reconcilement. So if you get a wound, like now this is talking about, you want this analogy. If you get cut on your arm, you got a cut on your arm or something like that, cut on your hand, cut on any part of your body, right? That's a wound, right? That can be fixed because it can be bound up. You get some gauze and some tape and wrap it up. It'll heal itself after a couple of weeks, couple of days, whatever the case, right? Depending on how bad the wound is. You break your ankle, that can be fixed. I ain't never broke no bone on my body, but I can imagine it'd be terrible. You know what I'm saying? Hurt like hell, but you got to go through all types of, you know, you got to put the cast on and all types of doctor's visits and all of that. But it's going to be hell, but it's still going to get fixed, right? But the scriptures say, but he that bewrayeth the secret is without hope. Meaning, if you go around telling people about this brother, you don't have any hope. There's no way to reconcile that. That's what the Bible said. I ain't say it. Parak ain't say that. Ain't nothing coming out of Parak's mouth that ain't in these scriptures. Parak ain't say that. This is the book of Ecclesiasticus, and it said that there is no hope for you if you bewray somebody else's secrets, if you expose somebody else's secrets. You know what I'm saying? And that's we gotta hone in on that here, because once again, the title of today's class is "You Talk Too Much." Stop talking so much, and you won't find yourself in situations like this. Let's keep going. We got a lot more to get through. I gotta shut the hell up.
Verse 22. He that winketh with his eyes worketh evil, and he that knoweth him will depart from him.
So who's that winketh with it up with his eyes? When you see somebody wink, what is that? What's the spirit that you get from somebody that winks? It being sneaky, right? You know what I'm saying? That's really what it is. When if anybody ever seen that movie, I cannot recall what that movie is. It's a ghetto horror story movie. I cannot recall what it is. I can't remember the name of it, right? But at the end of the movie, he winks because there's some more, he's being sneaky. There's some more stuff to happen, right? Point being is he was winking to be sneaky, right? That's the type of nigga that we're talking about. So he that winketh with his eyes, he's working evil, right? If you know him, you're going to depart from him. Meaning, if you know the type of evil that this person is into or the type of sneaking, if you can tell that this person is a sneaky person, you'll be a wise person to get away from him, right? Keep going.
Right. Like verse 23. When thou art present, he will speak sweetly and will admire thy words.
Right. So when you around this person, he gonna speak sweetly. He gonna speak kindly. He's gonna admire your words. He's gonna be, man, this brother's so heavy. You know what he's talking about. All of this. When you around him, that's what he gonna do. He gonna be nice to you, but keep going.
But at the last, he will
writhe
his mouth and slander thy sayings.
What he gonna do when you're not around? He gonna talk down on you. He gonna talk evil on you. That's what he's gonna do. So he's when you around him, you know, you gonna be big, you know. Oh, what's going on? Officer, you know, big officer. You an officer. I respect officers in the school. I respect officers. I respect captains and I respect generals and this, that, and the third. But behind closed doors, he talking, I know more than the generals. I could have broke that down better than him. That's what they do. Behind closed doors, that's what they do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now you take it out in the world. Oh man, what's going on, bro? You know what I'm saying? I get down with what you get down with. I'm down with you. I'll ride for you, die for you, all of this. Behind closed doors, man, fuck that nigga, man. He think he the shit. Excuse me for my language, so like it. You know what I'm saying? But he think he's something. He ain't nobody. So that's what this is talking about. Right. Like I said, if we could have grown up reading this, we probably got out of a lot of the situations that we was in. Straight like that. We would have probably stayed out of a lot of the situations that we got ourselves into without this book. Don't ever tell me that the Bible is not real or not, you know, worthy of reading. Because trust me when I tell you, this Bible right here done got me out of a lot of situations, man. A lot of terrible situations. You know what I'm saying? That's what he said. He said, when you're present, he'll speak sweetly. But when it's like, and will admire thy words. But at the last, he will writhe his mouth and slander thy sins. He's gonna talk down about you till his death, right? Let's keep going. Verse 24.
Verse 24. I have hated many things.
I've hated many things. Go ahead.
But nothing like him.
I hate a lot of things, but I hate a nigga like this, man. That's a beautiful scripture, ain't it? I've hated so many things in my life. I hate a lot of things. But this right here, nothing like this. Nothing like a I'm trying to have some etiquette. Nothing like a female dog, man. Just saying, that's what you are. That's what you are, man. If you this type of nigga and to go behind somebody's back, talk behind his back, tell his secrets, talk about him, that's what you are, man. You a punk. That's what you are. I've hated many things, but I ain't hated nothing like I hated a nigga like this. Let's get Proverbs the 11th chapter. That's a cold cut, man. Listen, and that's why I say these things are so important to be able to understand. Yeah, Proverbs 11 and 12.
Proverbs 11, verse what?
And 12.
Proverbs chapter 11, verse 12. He that is void of wisdom despiseth his neighbor, but a man of understanding holdeth his peace.
Now, this scripture is extremely important, right? You know what I'm saying? He that is void of wisdom. If you have no wisdom, you're going to despise your neighbor. Now, this is talking about outwardly, how we know that. Because it says, but a man of understanding holdeth his peace.
Right.
If I went off on everybody that pissed me off, I mean, I'd probably be in jail for life by now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, if that's what, but that would be a man that doesn't have any wisdom, but a man of understanding holdeth his peace. You shut the hell up, man. There is a time and a season for everything. The book of Ecclesiastes will tell you that. There's a time and a place for everything under the sun. There's a time to kill. Time to kill. Listen, it's a time to kill, but there's also a time for peace, man. It's time for war. It's a time to settle the hell down and relax. Right? It's a time for both of those things. And a wise man is going to know the difference between the two. But you have to be that type of person, because otherwise you're going to, like this brother just said, and like I just said, you're going to end up in jail or the streets are going to be dead. You know what I'm saying? Because the one thing that the scriptures talk about a lot is the wrath of a man. The wrath of a man is his detriment, man. Your wrath can cause so many problems. You being angry and you working in that anger, that can cause a lot of problems for you, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the scriptures say, that's why the scriptures say a man of understanding holdeth his peace. Shut the hell up sometimes. All right, let's keep reading verse 13. Salaki. Proverbs 11. Yeah, Proverbs 11 and 13.
Proverbs 11 and 13.
Huh.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 13. A talebearer revealeth secrets.
A talebearer revealeth secrets. This is talking about a talebearer. This is talking about what we've been talking about the whole class. Somebody that talk too much. And he revealeth secrets. That's what we just read a whole bunch of, right? But go ahead.
But he that is of a faithful spirit.
A what?
Faithful spirit.
He that is of a faithful spirit, a loyal spirit. Go ahead.
Concealeth the matter.
He concealeth the matter. He shut the hell up, man. Somebody come to you and tell you something in confidence, man. Just shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this class is going to be longer than it needs to be because really what we read already is it's enough. You know what I'm saying? It's enough. But we're going to get plenty more scriptures, right? To show you that you don't have to tell everybody everything that you hear. And that's what this is saying right here. If you are of a faithful spirit, if you are a loyal brother, if you have loyalty in your spirit, you will conceal it the matter, man. You'll shut up. You won't tell everybody's business, right? Let's do man. Okay, I gotta make sure I get through all of these before 9. All right, let's get Ecclesiasticus 28. All right. Let's get Ecclesiasticus. Yeah, Ecclesiasticus in the Apocrypha, chapter 28 and verse 11. And we're gonna read a lot of verses in here. So
book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 28, verse 11. And hasty contention kindleth a fire, and a hasty fighting sheddeth blood.
Right. So in hasty contention, what is contention? Contention is struggle. It's a problem, right? Contention is a problem or an issue, right? Normally between two people, and that kindles a fire. It creates a fire, and we all know fire is a dangerous thing. Fire is not a good thing. You can't run up and you don't. When your kids are around fire, you have to warn them, hey, there's a fire right there. Don't get close to that because you're gonna burn, right? Fire is not a fun thing. Fire is a bad thing when it comes to this, right? So in hasty contention kindleth the fire, and in hasty fighting sheddeth blood, which we all understand that, right? Keep going.
Right. Verse 12. If thou blow the spark, it shall burn.
If you blow the spark, it's gonna burn, right? If anybody understands about how to start a fire, when you get that spark going, if you blow on it, the oxygen from your breath is going to create that fire. It's going to make it get bigger. Just like why nobody ever people tell you if there's a big fire in your house, not big, but if you got some sort of fire in your house, don't blow on it because the oxygen is going to make it get bigger. It's going to make the fire spread, right? So your mouth has the power to do that. Keep going.
Right. It shall be quenched.
No, it's like go ahead.
If thou spit upon it, it shall be quenched.
Now with that fire, if you spit upon it, right, it shall be quenched. Meaning if you spit upon it, the water that's in your saliva, it will quench that fire, meaning it'll put out that fire and it'll take away the danger, right? Keep going.
And both these come out of thy mouth.
And both of those are in the power of your mouth. You can either blow on that fire to make it bigger, or you can spit on it to put it out. Like that's just like the scripture that's saying in the book of Proverbs, Officer Apayak's favorite book, right? So like it. In the book of Proverbs, it says life and death is in the power of the tongue. This is saying the same thing. It's just a little bit deeper. It's going a little bit more in depth. You get what I'm saying? Right. But that's what this is talking about. You have the power to quench that fire and put it out and to get rid of that contention, or you have the power to make that contention worse. What do a lot of niggas would rather do? They would rather make the contention worse. Something terrible is going on. They feel like they got to cuss somebody out. You know what I'm saying? So many people, like a lot of people are not what the scriptures say, wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. These niggas are just dumb as hell. Go out here and make all types of trouble for themselves. I don't know if y'all be watching some of these videos that be on YouTube where how they be dealing with the police. Like, you fighting the goddamn, like, nigga, take the damn speeding ticket. Nigga, you was doing 75 and a 40. Take the speeding ticket, give them your ID. Niggas be talking about, I ain't got to give you my ID. Nigga, get that goddamn police officer your ID, man, and be on your.
Who said that? By law, you don't got to travel with ID. You just trying to convince us.
I don't even know.
My brother let the big. That's our brother's op. That was his.
No, but I remember.
That brother, you don't remember him saying that? That brother was saying at one time, like by law, you don't have to carry your ID because you're a something citizen, or if you fall under. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But what you just set up is absolutely heavy. I never forget one time I got pulled over. I'm saying I was speeding up. Or the speed limit was, I was over it. And he pulled me over. He's like, man, why you speed like that, man? I told him, like, we all speed. He laughed. A white man laughed at me. He laughed at me so hard. He's like, so what do you think you're doing? I was like, I thought I can get away with it. He started laughing. Like, no, I'm going to give you a warning, man. I'm saying, like,
hey, man, listen, stop lying to the goddamn police and like, you know, and playing a punk. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that. Go ahead.
Another thing, too, is like, basically what that brother was, you know, what that other brother was trying to say, you know, about, you know, you don't got to show your license or whatnot. They get those so many most of the time from YouTube videos.
Yeah.
You know, which is what they tell you is to exercise your rights, right?
Mm-hmm. That's what they say.
What right do we have
right.
in America? You know,
niggas ain't got no goddamn rights. You think the First Amendment applies to you, nigga? First Amendment came out, you was in chains, you was shackled up. You know what I'm saying? First Amendment don't apply to you, nigga. What are you talking about? 13th Amendment said that you could be a legal slave in America.
Right.
12 amendments later. Nigga, don't tell me nothing about no First Amendment rights. Salaki, go ahead, Salaki.
No, go ahead.
Come on, no, but that's, you know, but that's what listen, man, just don't be stupid, man. Don't be so goddamn dumb. You get what I'm saying? And so that's part of you, you know, blowing on the fire. Police officers already kill niggas every single day in America. All the time. They're killing us. Why you gonna piss this goddamn police officer off? Why you gonna do it on purpose? You gonna pull your phone out and start put a phone in his face. Not saying that it's not, you know, wise to record police officers. Sure, they do a lot of crazy stuff. Fine, that's fine. But don't do it for the sake that I be seeing on these videos. They be trying to catch the police officers up like, we gonna police the police. That's what they call it. We're policing the police.
Right.
Nigga, you can't police the police. They kill niggas. They the KKK. They killing you. They're policing you, and you can't police them. Can you police Donald Trump? Can you police Joe Biden? You try to get close to Joe Biden, what they're going to do? They're going to put a goddamn bullet in your head because that's God in America. America's God is Joe Biden right now. Right. And every other white man. And everybody in Congress and in the Senate and in the House of Representatives. That's God. You just a peon that they get to, you know, do whatever they want to. Don't blow on the fire. Don't be stupid. I just wanted to point that out because I saw a few videos today where cats was they pressing the police. Like, listen, man, just take the goddamn ticket and fight it in court.
You would think they're slaves, by the way.
Yeah, by the way, yeah. They think
they
right. Yeah, man. So, but nah, you know, and that's just one good example that I could think of today because I've seen so much of that going on. Y'all getting too cocky, man. Don't forget you in captivity. And that don't mean bitch up. Stand your ground whenever you have to. But man, if a goddamn police officer pull you over for a speeding ticket, take the goddamn ticket and fight it in court. But you was doing 75 and a 40 anyway, so you're not gonna be able to fight the damn ticket.
She was doing it wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like,
they be trying to do this thing, right? Where they do where they say oh, I'm not a driver, I'm a traveler. So they say that you don't need my driver's license and you can't ticket me because I'm a traveler. Because they get this from them goddamn Moors, man. The Moors Science Temple, they teach this garbage where the law says that the American law says that you can get out of getting a ticket because legally you're not a driver, you're a traveler, even if you're behind the wheel. It's stupid, man. It's dumb. It ain't never worked for no goddamn body. Let's keep reading. Don't blow on the goddamn fire. That white man has a whole lot of fire in his veins trying to kill you. Specifically in that trigger finger. You want to pull that gun on you immediately. That's what you want to do. Don't give him any reason to, man. That's blowing on the fire. Hold your goddamn tongue. Stop talking so goddamn much. Keep going. Salaki.
Verse 13. Curse the whistle. It's like whispers. It's like the whisper and double tongue. For such have destroyed many that were at peace.
So we know who the whisperer is, right? Somebody that's, you know, that whispers, right? Telling other people's secrets, talking behind people's back, gossiping. That's a whisperer. That's the double tongue. And many of them, it's like for them, they have destroyed many that were at peace.
Right.
Two brothers right here. This ain't never gonna happen in the truth, but two brothers right here, right? Getting along, talking, you know what I'm saying? We get down with each other, eat with each other, go to camp with each other, all of this. And then some bitch gonna get in between us. That's not gonna happen to us. It's not. But guess what? Who it will happen to you? You, if you're in the world. If you're in the world, and I've seen it happen so many times when I was in the world, man. I've seen it happen so many times where some bitch gets together with another bitch and conspires against two brothers. These brothers is boys, man. They friends for real. Like they get down with each other, put work in and all of that. And some bitch comes in between them and says a lie and says, oh yeah, he was saying this about you. And he was trying to get with me. He was trying to have sex with me. And all it is. I've seen that happen so many times. You know what happens?
Oh, yeah.
Them two niggas that was, you know, they was just like this, but not like this, but you know, they say they like this because they're not in the truth, right? Them niggas end up beefing with each other. Whether it came to blows or whether it came to bullets, they ended up beefing with each other over a woman, over what a woman said that I knew for a fact was a lie, straight up lie. but because they were a whisperer and double-tongued, they've destroyed many friendships, and they'll keep doing it because that's the spirit of this thing, right? You gonna say something?
Lie.
Okay, come on, let's keep going.
Verse 14. A backbiting tongue had disquieted many and driven them from nation to nation. Strong cities had it pulled down and overthrown the houses of great men.
Man, the tongue that's wicked, man, that goes and talks behind people's backs and gossips and makes up lies, rumors and all of that. That tongue has a lot of power because it's destroyed empires, man, nations, cities, towns, relationships, families. It's done all of that. Like I said, I've seen it with my own two eyes, man. Let's and I want to, damn, okay, let me see. Hold on, real quick. We might have to skip through verse 18 if you could.
Verse 18. Many have fallen by the edge of the sword, but not so many have fallen by the tongue.
Man, listen, a lot of people have died from the sword, man. A lot of people, but not as many that have died from somebody's words. Read one verse above it, actually, if I could, just to get, because there's this, well, read verse 17. So like,
verse 17. The stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh.
Right, the stroke of the whip maketh marks in the flesh. You seen that picture that we all share in the ISUPK where that brother was beat with that, is it back there? I think it's one back there. Where that brother was beat with the whip. It was a brother that was in slavery, beat by that whip, and his back was tore up. I mean, to shreds. That thing does a lot of damage, man, but keep going.
But the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bone.
But the stroke of the tongue breaketh the bones. Don't let nobody tell you. What does it say? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Nigga, goddamn that. You know how many people have died over words? Right. Words kill, man. Words kill. Absolutely. Don't let your kids think this. Don't let nobody think that, you know, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Words hurt more than anything. I could beat the dog crap out of somebody, right? And next couple of days, the brother forget about it, and we shake it up, and it's all good. But if I say something that hurts that brother to his core, he'll never forgive me for that. If I say something that really hurts that brother to his core, he'll never forgive me. He'll never look at me the same. But throwing blows, that ain't nothing. Niggas do that, especially if you grew up in the hood. Niggas throw blows all the time. Niggas is boxing and fighting all the time. Yeah, best friends fight. Get brothers fight. You ever seen two brothers get angry at each other? I'm talking about blood brothers get angry at each other and start fighting, and you know what I'm saying? And then they next day they eating Cheetos on the couch, watching some cartoon. You know what I'm saying? Like playing in the street together, playing cops and robbers. Like that's because sticks and stones may hurt your bone. I mean, it's not Sluggy, not that. That's because that's because sticks and stones may break your bones, but words hurt even more. because I can beat the hell out of somebody, break his bones, right? Hurt him real bad. But what I say to him can hurt him even worse. Right. That's real. Imagine what like I said, so many like the scriptures just said, so many friendships have been broken up, and lifelong hatred has arisen because of somebody's words, because of somebody saying something, because of somebody going behind somebody's back and saying something, or you get in an argument with your rib and you say something terrible to her, and she ain't never gonna forget you, or it's like gonna forgive you ever. She never, and if she do forgive you, she ain't never gonna forget that thing. She gonna be so mad at you forever because you said something that hurt her to her core. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna and I was gonna give a couple of examples, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna give brothers ammo to hurt their women, so like it, right? But point being is that's much worse, right? So I just wanted to make sure I read that one. You was gonna say something?
Right. Now I was just gonna say,
he gonna give a couple of examples right now. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So like it. Good.
Now I was gonna say there's this one of the example you might hurt someone, especially during court, especially if the brother's on death row. Imagine what the thing that you can say to save that brother's life. Like I was telling you guys that movie that I was watching. The white man lied about this brother murdering a white woman just so he could not be on this. So just so he won't get sentenced to death row, right? Yeah. And the thing is that he got so tired of the lawyer convinced him to bring out the truth, about what he has said, and this brother, I mean, you can see it. Like I know it's all act, but just imagine this brother is getting sentenced to death just because of what you said,
right?
Because of what you said, and now you're bringing out the truth. It's like, man, it's like. It just feels like that weight has just lifted off.
Right.
Why? Because now we can work with that instead of what with a lie. Now I gotta die because of what you said.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, damn right. What's crazy about it is Emmett Till died because of a word. Straight like that, because of some white woman said that that he had done something he didn't do. Black Wall Street was destroyed, was bombed because of a word, because of some bitch, some white devil, right? Telling the white man that she was raped, which was a lie. It wasn't even true. And Black Wall Street was bombed because of that, right? All of these things, it's all, everything stems from that. Most of the time. When that sister, we're gonna move on in a second, but when that sister called the police on her son was like, he's like, I don't want to say retarded, but her son was like mentally handicapped, some sort of, like I think he had like he was, and so she called the police. With her words, she said, "I need y'all to come here and take care of my son because he's acting crazy, but he has a mental illness, don't kill him. Be careful." They didn't hear that. What they did hear were the words that she first said. "Come here, handle my son." What they did was they came to her house and killed him. Right, and that was because of her words.
That little kid that got shot because they were playing out and the white woman saying, they out here with the guns.
Right. Tamir Rice. Same thing. Tamir Rice was murdered because of words. And going back to the sister with the son, I don't want to say that to say that the sister was necessarily wrong, like she was trying to kill a kid. I don't want to say. I want to make that perfectly clear. The sister made a mistake. Ooh. That's what the sister that called on her son. She made a mistake, a grave mistake, but she made a mistake. I don't want to make it seem like the ISUPK is saying, "Oh no, she a bitch for that." No, damn that. She made a terrible mistake that I pray she's learned from. Right. Right.
We failed her.
Right.
Because we're empowered. The part that we're supposed to have. It's called a Mount Zion, you know what I'm saying? And pick up the phone and call
camp leader.
I'm saying a camp leader, you know what I'm saying?
Right, because a brother would have been at the crib. A brother would have been at the crib unarmed and handled that brother. Straight like that. Right. Right. Would have took care of that brother and got him straightened out, cast that goddamn demon out.
I'd rather have a demon like that. You might swing and fight. You can wrestle him to the ground, nigga.
Right.
Nigga, like 2-3 men over there. You could have wrestled him to the ground and hold him there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But let's move on. So let's get Judges, right? The 16th chapter. We're gonna talk about something, right? So now we spent this entire class, like I said, I'm beating a dead horse, man. I'm beating a dead horse, talking about how you should just shut the hell up and stop talking about everything, or stop talking about other people to everybody. Don't talk about everybody else's situation, everybody's issues, and what they come to you with. Let that die with you, man. That's what the scriptures say. But now we're gonna talk about how you can talk too much and destroy your own self. We're gonna talk about Samson in the book of Judges, right? We're gonna talk about Samson because Samson destroyed his own self because his mouth was too big. You know what I'm saying? His mouth was too goddamn big. He is the epitome of pillow talking. So like Khan, yeah, absolutely. And because his love for this heathen broad, he decided he was gonna put his love for this heathen above his love for the Most High. We're gonna read about it, right? We're gonna try to get it done as soon as possible. I know we're running short on time, but it's an excellent scripture that we got to bring out, and it's gonna show you why you should just you should really be careful what you say and who you say it to. So let's get Judges the 16th chapter, and let's start at verse 4. Judges 16 and verse 4.
Book of Judges, chapter 16, verse 4. And it came to pass afterward that he loved a woman in the valley of Sorek, whose name was Delilah.
So he's talking about Samson. Samson found this woman that he loved. Her name was Delilah. Keep going. Verse 5.
And the lords of the Philistines came up unto her.
So the lords of the Philistines, this broad was a Philistine. She was a Hamite. You get what I'm saying? She was a Hamite, dirty, stinking African, right? And so her people came up to her. The lords, the people in the high positions of the Philistines, they came up under her and they said, "What? Go ahead."
Came up to her and said unto her, "Entice him."
Do what?
Entice him.
Ooh, this is a trap. Keep going.
And see wherein his great strength lieth. So
the Philistines, I'm gonna give a real quick rundown. The Philistines saw that Samson had great strength, and I mean, his strength was unmatched. You couldn't find strength like his nowhere. They were like, "What the hell? What? Find out where he's getting all of this strength." So now they take his woman, the woman that he loves, takes her because that's their people, not his people. Samson was a Danite, which today now would be the Manassites, right? Because of they got swallowed up into to those tribes. The reason why, just to give you a quick explanation on that, Dan became too small of a tribe, so those tribes ended up going into mostly Manasseh, right?
Puerto Rican.
Right. The Manasseh is the Cubans, right? Yeah. So they mostly went into the Manassites. So today you would consider Samson to be like a Cuban today. If you could just think about that in your head, right? About the type of brother that we're talking about, right? Because they carry the same spirit, right? So anyway, so he's a brother, he's an Israelite, but this woman is a Philistine. She's a Hamite. So her people come up to her and say, "Listen, you need to entice this man, entice him, and figure out where the hell he get all his strength from, because they want to know his secrets." Keep going.
And by what means we may prevail against him, that we may bind him to afflict him.
Right.
And we will give thee every one of us 1,100 pieces of silver.
So now this is what he said. He said, make sure that you can figure out where his strength comes from and how we can, kill him, basically. That's what he's saying, how we can prevail against him. That we may bind him to afflict him, to hurt him, and we will give thee, every one of us, 1,100 pieces of silver. So however many men was talking, each one of them was going to give Delilah 1,100 pieces of silver, which is a lot of goddamn money.
Which means they were that much afraid of him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a bounty on his head, so like it.
A real bounty. Mm-hmm. And when that brother, especially, he must not be like a nigga from shot. It's just, that's like ABC to be like, you ever heard the saying like when a nigga like, he over there like dwelling with the ops, like bitches, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
I understand.
And, like, you not see this coming? Like,
right.
like Samson's story always gets me. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
Did he not expect this to come?
Well, his parents didn't want that for him either. Remember, his parents was told that this brother was going to be special by an angel of the Lord. The angel of the Lord came to his parents and told them, listen, this brother is special. He's going to take the Nazarite vow, which you find in the book of Numbers. He's going to take a vow unto the Lord. You're never to cut his hair. You're never to cut his hair. Keep his hair in braids and keep it long. And that's where his strength is going to lie. And that's what we're going to find out, right? Keep going.
Verse 6. And Delilah said unto Samson.
So she did what now? There's no gap in this story. Immediately after they told her, listen, find out where his strength come from, and we'll give you all types of pieces of silver. She said, she said what? She said, tell me, I pray thee. Go ahead.
She said, say less.
Right, yeah, straight like that. She said, say less. Yeah.
What she did was the right thing anyway.
For her people.
Yeah,
for her people,
for her people, he's an op. And the fact that shit much of a bitch she is, that she even takes money for that shit. We got sisters that did that shit out of love of their nation. He killed all our men, our brothers. See what I'm saying?
Right.
He gotta go. The fact that she would take, they have to force her to do money. You know what I'm trying to say? That.
Right.
Go ahead. So like,
tell me, I pray thee, wherein thy great strength lieth.
Already. Go ahead.
And wherewith thou mightiest be bound to afflict thee.
Tell me how somebody could hurt you. And you got to think about this, right?
Wow.
Just to put you in a perspective. You ever had a woman lay up on you and she like under your arm and she like, drawing circles on your chest. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Come on, don't tell me y'all don't know what I'm talking about. She drawing circles on your chest, just just loving on you, and she just gets to talking so sweet, and then she say, how are you so strong? I mean, how could anybody ever hurt you? Like, what's your soft spot? You ever had a woman ask you that? I haven't, but I'm just asking if anybody else has. Right? What's your soft spot? That's what she's doing. She's trying to be sneaky and sweet to this brother. Keep going. Huh? Yeah, good.
Same shit, like, you know what I'm saying? You don't even show no like.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it comes. You don't show no emotion. You know what I'm saying? Wait. Yeah. Right, like basically where your soft spot at.
For me, when you asking me that, it's like you're trying to do something. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's
because it's in here.
Me being in mind, I'm looking at you like, bitch.
Right. Well, go ahead. So like,
verse 7. And Samson said unto her, if they bind me with 7 great if they bind me with 7 green withs that were never dried, then shall I be weak and be as another man.
Right. So now he's saying if you bind me up, basically he's talking about like rope. A whiff is like a rope. I said, if they bind me with 7 green whiffs that were never dried, then shall I be weak. So if they tie me up with 7 green whiffs, then shall I be weak and be as another man. Because he wasn't like other niggas. He said he's different. You know what I'm saying? But if you bind me up with these 7 green whiffs, I'll be like another man, basically I'll be regular, right? I'll have regular strength, which of course can be, which can be subdued. But his strength was different. His strength couldn't be subdued. Keep going.
Right.
He's lying, of course. Keep going though.
Then the Lord's Philistines brought up to her 7 green withs, which had not been dried, and she bound him with them. Now there were men laying in wait, abiding with her in the chamber, and she said unto him, the Philistines be upon thee, Samson. And he brake with the withs, as a thread of tow is broken when it toucheth the fire.
So he broke them strong withs fast, right? Like it was unbelievable. He just broke them. You know what I'm saying? And so he still had his strength. So he lied to the broad. But it gets stupid in a second, right? So he lied to her, right? And he was able to break free of the thing that he said would destroy him. He said that those wicks would destroy him if he was bound up in them. Keep going.
So his strength was not known.
So his strength was still not known. Keep going.
And Delilah said unto Samson, behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies.
And this nigga dumb as hell for this, Salaki.
What you're saying is so heavy up. This was, let's take this as, look at a lot of them Israelites. Who saw the show Narcos?
I never watched it. I heard about it though.
Netflix, right? You see Narcos. There was a man by the name of, I don't know if you see, his name was Gotcha. Ran with not Castro, fucking Pablo Escobar. His name is Cacho. He was like the brutal, like he was. Anyway, nonetheless, this story right here, they were trying to get a cop sending an undercover a prostitute in.
Oh yeah, I know who.
And she messed up and asked him, so hey, what was that meeting you guys had? The big drug cartels had a meeting. After she lay with him and shit, she's sitting there fiddling the chest you were talking about. The Bible talking about.
I know.
She sitting there and said to him, so what was that meeting about? What's got you stressed out?
God.
Brother did?
Yeah. I ain't never seen it, but I can see that though. So like it.
Oh, give me a minute. Brother had her.
Yeah.
Had her killed. He set her up to have her killed.
Right. Cause she doing the same shit that this Delilah broad is doing. Same
it's
thing.
Almost as if like Samson was like a suck up, but all that shit.
Hey, listen, I can. That's why I say I know that's my forefather, but you know that brother right there is. I don't say my forefather. I'm Judas. Like,
yeah,
but he might, you know.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
but that's fair. But listen. But how dumb can you be? Because then this brought after. Listen, this is what's crazy about this story, and this is how much like love. Like I'm gonna do a clown. I'm giving it away, but I'm gonna do a class on the dangers of falling in love. You know what I'm saying? Like when you fall in love with a bitch, this is something that can happen to you. This bitch asked him, "What's your secret? How can you be made weak?" He said, "Oh yeah, you give me 7 green whiffs. I'm jammed up." And it just so happens 7 green whiffs come upon him. That the Philistines come and put 7 green, bound him up with 7 green whiffs, and he break up out of it. Then this bitch gonna say, "Let me see where we at." So like it. Then this bitch gonna say, "Where we at? Let me see." Verse 10 says, "And Delilah said unto Samson, Behold, thou hast mocked me and told me lies. Now tell me, I pray thee, wherewith thou mightest be bound." So she like, this nigga don't see already, like, nigga, she's trying to figure out how to kill you. Because the first time she tried and you lied to her, she tried to lie with you. She tried to lie. She tried that same thing that you told her. She tried it on you. And now she's asking you again. It's a lucky. And so I'm just for time's sake, right? Because I don't know. I ain't nothing like listen, ain't nothing that good for me. So like it. Right. But then so it goes on to say, so that she asks again, how am I gonna be bound? He say, if they bind me fast with new ropes that were never occupied, then shall I be weak. So he say, it's gotta be new ropes now when she asks him again. Of course, they come and they try that and he break out of that. I'm going to skip right to the point because I was going to read this whole story. I know we run a little bit over. Let me see. So now, give me verse 16.
Verse 16.
No, damn that. Give me verse 15. So, Lucky, this is
verse 15. And she said unto him, How canst thou say, I love thee, when thy heart is not with me?
This bitch, man, she said she pulled one of the oldest chicks in the book. Right. She said, how you going? You don't love me. You don't love me. You're not even telling me what I want to hear. You're not telling me the truth, bro.
If you love me, you would do such and such.
Yeah, if you love, that's even better. If you love me, you would do this, and this.
You would do this.
Right.
You don't love me because you haven't done it.
Right. Keep going.
You don't love me, or some bitches nowadays like it. Say,
I get it.
Now they say it's like if you don't got a ring on it, or if you don't claim me, then I'm basically single.
Right.
It's what she's saying.
That's what she said.
Man, it's a lie.
No, damn right.
But
go ahead. No. If you got more, go ahead.
No.
You good? Okay, come. Keep going.
I love thee when thy heart is not with me. Thou hast mocked me these 3 times, and has not told me, therein thy great strength lieth.
She said, you done lied to me 3 times about where your strength comes. The thing is, bitch, you tried to kill me all 3 times. When I told you where my strength come from, you go and do the thing that I tell. Like, how this nigga do? I don't know. I got to get the breakdown from General Muhammad because ain't no way this nigga didn't know. Ain't no way this nigga didn't know. You know what I'm saying? Man,
maybe he was trying to keep hitting. He had to have known.
Yeah, I'm telling you, ain't no way.
I want to give the nigga enough respect.
But this is the point. But what he's about to do is what this class is about. He talked too goddamn much because he lied. But this bitch, whatever her power was, whether it was that box of hers or whether it was her smooth words, whatever the case is, she pushed him to talk too goddamn much. We about to talk about it. Go ahead.
And it came to pass when she pressed him daily.
Pressed him. You letting this broad press you. Pressed you daily. Go ahead.
With her words.
With her what?
Her words.
Yeah, life and death is in the power of the tongue. I keep going.
It's like it. And urged him so that his soul was vexed unto death.
Mm-hmm.
And
his soul was vexed unto death. It was killing him. That's what this is talking about. It was killing him. He like, I gotta tell this bitch something. I gotta tell her the truth now because it's killing me. Keep going.
That he told her all his heart.
He did what?
He told her all his heart.
Talked too goddamn much. And this is where his death comes from because he talked too goddamn much.
Right.
Keep going.
And said unto her, there hath not come a razor upon my head.
Mm-hmm.
For I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb.
Mm-hmm. Since he was born. Keep going.
If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man.
This time he told the truth. He told the truth this time. That was where now, just so everybody understands the breakdown of Samson, his strength never came from his hair. It never did. That's not where his strength came from. His strength came from his faith in the Lord. That's where his strength came from. This is when the reason why he dies after this is because he broke his faith in the Lord and his service in the Lord. Hair doesn't do anything for you. For instance, I got these braids. If I cut these braids, if somebody told me, oh, your strength is in your hair, I could believe it for however long. If I cut this thing, that doesn't mean that the strength doesn't, goes away from me. Strength is not in nobody's hair. It's in your faith in the Lord. It always has been that way. It's been that way for Adam. It's been that way for Isaac. It's been that way for everybody, for Noah. It's been that way for Jacob. It's been that way for all of our ancestors, all of our forefathers. Their strength wasn't in no goddamn hair. It was in their faith in the Lord. But what he did here was he sacrificed his faith in the Lord for a bitch. Because he told her the secret that nobody was ever supposed to know. Right? You was gonna say something?
There's some natives that actually believe that too.
Yeah. I know.
They'll cut everything off and they'll just leave a little tail for either some promise to a Virgin Mary or something,
Right. God. And so that's why his strength went away from him, because his strength was because the Lord gave him strength.
Right.
The Nazarite vow, yes, that's a vow to the Lord, and absolutely you have to keep your vow, right? But his strength didn't go. Like, for instance, if you're taking a Nazarite vow, just real quick, if you're taking a Nazarite vow, that means that you cannot cut your hair, right? You have to let your hair grow out. That's part of the Nazarite vow, amongst other things. If somebody else, which is what we find later, Samson, when he told this broad about that, the Philistines came and cut his hair. So I think she cut her hair, actually. Delilah cut her hair, cut his hair. If somebody else comes and cuts your hair, does that mean you've broken the Nazarite vow? No. That means some wicked bastard has come and tried to diminish your relationship with the Most High, or tried to diminish your oath to the Most High. That doesn't mean you broke it. So that wouldn't mean that your strength gets taken away from you. But what would cause your strength to get taken away from you if you tell some wicked bitch like this, yeah, my strength comes from my hair. After the 3 times that you just tried to kill me, he lost his faith in the Most High. That's why when it says that he was pressed, he was pressed over day in and day out. She pressing him about this damn thing. That's what happened. He gave up his faith in the Most High. And so when what comes to pass, verse 18 says, when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come up this once, for he hath showed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in her hand, or brought money in their hands, Salaki. They gave her that money, And that was it. How'd that happen? Because he talked too goddamn much.
Right.
He spoke all that's what he say? What she say? She said he had told her all his heart. Nigga, don't. I'm gonna get one more scripture. Salaki. Give me 1 Ezra 4:26. I gotta get this one because
2nd Ezra.
yeah, 1 Ezra Salaki. I'm gonna show you this. 4:26. I'm gonna show you this scripture. Just in relation, I mean, we already beat, the whole talking too much, it's dead, it's in the grave.
Right.
If you got ears to hear, you should hear this class and know that you should shut the hell up sometimes. But now we're gonna talk real quick, briefly on this situation with Samson, right? 1 Ezra 4:26.
Right. 1 Ezra chapter 4, verse 26. Yea, many there be that have run out of their wits for women.
For who?
For women.
For who?
For women.
Many there be that have run out of their wits for women. Niggas lose their mind for women every day. You know what your wits is? It's your smarts. That's what it is. That's what your wits are. Your smarts. And you become a dumb fool because of a woman.
Right.
You gonna say something?
Nah.
Man, listen, and that's what Samson did. He became a damn fool for this woman. But keep going.
Right.
It gets even worse.
And become and become servants for their sake.
And Samson became a servant to that woman. How? How did Samson become a servant to that woman because of what she did? He became a servant to that woman by sacrificing with his belief, his faith, and his loyalty to the Lord. He gave it to her instead. Keep going. Now, this is the kicker. Verse 27 is the kicker. Everybody should highlight this in their Bibles, put it in their precept book, because this is real. Right. Go ahead.
Many also have perished, have erred, and sinned for women.
For who?
For women.
One more time.
For women.
Many have perished and erred and sinned for women. Right. Man, listen. When the scriptures say that women are the strongest underneath the truth, it's because that's true. Look what happened to Samson. Look what happened to Solomon. Look what happened to David. Look what happened to all of these brothers that you find falling. Man, listen, man. I'm telling you. Stop talking so much to your woman about everything. Straight like that. Don't tell her don't give her your monologue of the day. Not to say that you shouldn't be, have a good, interpersonal relationship and communication with your woman. Absolutely. Talk to her and all of that. But don't be the type of person that Samson was. Straight like that. Don't be that type of nigga, man. You know what you can't do? The scriptures say in Ecclesiastes, I actually got it right open right here. The scriptures say in Ecclesiasticus chapter 33, verse 19, it says, "Give not thy son and thy wife, thy brother and thy friend power over thee while thou livest, and give not thy goods to another, lest it repent thee, and thou entreat for the same again. As long as thou livest and hast breath in thee, give not thyself over to any." You have to pick and choose who you give yourself over to. Now, you can choose to give yourself over to your wife and your family and your brothers and your sisters and your sons and daughters, or you can give yourself over to the Most High. Samson was supposed to give himself over to the Most High, but because he talked too goddamn much, he gave himself over to a filthy goddamn African. A filthy African that didn't give a damn about him. From the time that he met her, she was plotting to kill his ass. She gave herself over to him instead of the Lord. Don't be like him. Don't talk so goddamn much. If Samson would have shut his goddamn mouth, he would have lived another 20, 30, 40 years. But there's a different story written in the book of Judges because of that.
Right.
It's that simple. All right, with that, I know I've run over. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass the class over to Priest Officer Mike.
Before you go on.
Come on.
Samson's story, man. Like I said, I heard you said it best. I have to go get counsel on this on that specific story again, because I can't wrap my mind around it. It's just like he had to have seen it coming.
But niggas do that every day though. I know you seen niggas fall like that to women too. This broad is plotting on you. Now, it might not be as obvious as Samson's situation, but this broad is an op. And what?
That, but it's like, I don't know. Go ahead.
He was gonna say some outlandish, but no, but that's like, but you see it like that's something that happens every single day here, because I'm gonna give y'all a quick, not a story, but I'm gonna give y'all a quick example, right? My grandfather was murdered at an old age, not because of a woman, but with the help of a woman, right? He was murdered brutally. And the way that those murderers got into his house is because of some broad, some bitch that he was dealing with. The murderers, I don't know if they paid her or whatever, but got her to knock on his door because they knew he was strapped. My grandfather wasn't no joke. He had a strap on him. When he was answering the door, it was a goddamn shotty or a pistol behind that door. But they knew that if this bitch knocked on the door, he gonna put the pistol down and open the door. And what happened? He put the pistol down, opened the door. They banged his head in. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go into details. It was a brutal murder, but the reason the murder happened is because of a bitch. It's a lucky. So that's like I said, I'm gonna bring all of that out with shortly. With your your infatuation with some bitch, it's gonna get you killed, man. And if it don't get you killed here, it's gonna get you killed when Christ returns. That's for sure. Your infatuation with some bitch, she gonna make you, leave the truth. She gonna make you, disgrace the truth and make you betray your brother, like the scripture just brought out. I don't know what to tell you, man. I love that whole love, and I air quote the hell out of that because that's fake anyway. But that whole love thing that gets niggas killed every single day, man. That love got Samson killed. We just saw that, right? Anybody had anything else?
No.
Y'all good? All right. With that, I'm gonna pass the class over to Priest Officer Matisa.
ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. 6 months. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After 6 months period, brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithe, which is a commandment. Numbers 18, the book of Numbers. You can find this in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21. Also in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verse 8 through 10. Ma'ashra means tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, give to the treasury department or a teacher. Priest funds, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming Holy Convocation, which is Feast of Dedication, also known as Hanukkah, right? December 2nd to December 3rd, I believe.
It's November 28th.
Yeah.
November 28th.
Closing, I believe, is on December 3rd, though.
Oh, okay.
I believe, but the opening is definitely November 8th. I mean, November 28th. So lucky. November
28th. I believe closing is December 3rd, right? Anyways, Salakia. If any brother wants to be a trooper, to start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, we're gonna do one courtesy salute to the teacher, Men of Israel. Men of Israel. Amajim Shabbat. Amajim Barak. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabbat.
Yahweh Shem Shabbat.
Yajim Matah. Class dismissed.